Since I'm late, I got it right on time. I'd like to call the Education Committee meeting order. Commissioner Bernard won't be here, I don't think. Is this mine or somebody else?
That's yours.
I'm gonna give everybody a second to look over the minutes.
Make a motion to approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, same like sign.
Sit up here.
Okay. I'd like to go ahead and turn the meeting over to, Deputy Director of Finance, Mr. Michael Smith.
So we have one budget amendment our school board passed last night. It is rather lengthy, so I've broken it up into sections. If you'll flip to that second page, the first page is just a narrative, but I'll go over this in detail. You'll see I've put kind of in bold headers down through there. The first one is coordinated school health, and then safe schools and so forth. So I'll start with the top two right there, coordinated school health and safe schools. That we get grants for both of those two things. Those grants are approved in September and October after we make the budget. So this, I just have to estimate where we think we're going to put those grants, and this is me coming back and re-putting those grants where the accounts of the state awarded those to us. So we're not requesting any funds right there, we're not using any fund balance. That's me moving those grants to where the state had. The second three, you'll notice.
Wait a minute, hold on. Is there anybody have any questions regarding what he just spoke about? No. Okay. Anybody in the crowd? Okay.
The second three I'm gonna lump together as well when I talk about these. That's gonna be the summer learning camp, the bridge camp, and the mini camp. What those three things are is that was our summer schools funding that we got. The state broke it up like that. I did not. That's what the wording they chose. Those are unspent funds, and that's not funds that we get to keep. So what I'm doing is taking those away from the budget so it doesn't artificially inflate or deflate revenues or expenditures. So I'm taking those out that were unspent. And that was where they awarded money. We just didn't have enough teacher interest or enough student interest to spend. So I don't want you to think we didn't spend money. We could have. We couldn't only spend it on that particular thing. Other districts didn't get to spend all their money either. So I'm taking that money away from the budget on those three things, just so it doesn't artificially inflate it at the end of the year. Any questions on those three?
And they don't give you an option to put it in another category?
They do not. I mean, they've already taken it away from us online on our state's website. I can't even go in and look at it other than to see what we spent. So I just didn't want somebody, trying to put in a request for a check or a purchase order and then thinking they had money left in their budget, or come to y'all and y'all see, oh, you've got money left there when we don't. So.
Do you have to remit it back to the state, or do you get to
We
sit
never
on
got
it?
that cash. That was a reimbursement-based grant, and so we've never seen that cash. When I budgeted the grant, I budgeted the full amount, and then once we were done, so now our budget will equal actually what we spent and what we received back.
Okay.
So next year they'll give us more funds for next summer. So I mean, I'll come back to y'all again with a budget amendment probably this May, booking those summer grants, and then next fall I'll come and take off what we did or didn't spend.
Okay.
So.
Are there any questions from the crowd, from the audience? Okay, great, thank you. Go ahead.
All right, then the next one is labeled TCAT Instructor. We have an instructor over our high schools. A TCAT instructor comes and teaches welding, and so that accounts for that payment to TCAT. For that, that's what that line is for. Any questions there? Again, so far I have not requested any additional funds on any of these until we get to the bottom here, and I'll talk about that in a second.
Okay, proceed.
Okay, so the next one is a maintenance technology position, and if y'all remember back when we did our needs assessment, y'all granted us 4 maintenance positions as part of our needs assessment back at the beginning of the budget year. This is requesting, we really want to be fully transparent about what this position, we still have an unfilled position there. I would like to move that to the technology budget, and what that person's going to do is, we have a lot of low voltage wiring, everything from hanging TVs, running Cat 6 cables, camera work, our electronic door locks. We really feel like we could save some money there, so we'd like to kind of split that position between technology and maintenance and do a lot of I can't tell you each one of our schools has so many of these TVs or the internet cables. We'd really like to be able to save some money there and do that in-house, but we also want to be transparent since y'all granted us maintenance positions. This would be doing some technology and some maintenance. So that's what this line does. It doesn't request anything additional. It's just moving that one budget for that one position over to technology. Any questions there?
Is that half a position or whole position?
Be one position.
35,000.
That would just budget it. That's just a conservative number to budget for the rest of the year because we're halfway through the year. That position,
So basically half a position for the rest of the year.
yes, it's a little more than half,
Yeah, okay.
a little more than half, but yes, yes. That position would pay a little more than 35 though.
Right.
Yes.
Any more questions from the crowd?
Okay. All right, and then the last one, so everything above does not touch fund balance. I'm not requesting any additional funds. The last budget amendment does request that we're using $1.5 million out of fund balance. If y'all remember back on our needs assessment, we had on there roofs, and then we agreed to take on some of the costs for some of the roofs as part of that. This is us taking on a cost for the roof at Mount Juliet Elementary. And the reason we want to go ahead and do this is that roof is about 1 year left in the warranty, and we've negotiated with the roofing company to provide another $500,000 in roofing materials if we go ahead and do that before it gets out of warranty. And so the total cost of the roof will be approximately $2 million-ish, replacing all the insulation, everything. That roof has had a lot of leaks. It's approximately 20 years old, and so that's what that budget amendment is taking out of our fund balance to fund that roof in Mount Juliet Elementary.
I've got 2 questions.
It's a flat roof.
You gotta take it from the here first, then you go
Okay.
back to the crowd.
Correct.
Okay, go ahead.
2 questions for you. One, what is your current fund balance?
Well, so that fund balance is a snapshot, so I could not tell you exactly. I can tell you a very close estimate.
Okay.
If we do this, our approximate fund balance would be somewhere between 15 and 16 million, give or take where we're at today. Does that make sense? So
Okay.
when you fund balance is a snapshot of 1 day in time.
Right.
So as of today, technically, we're actually, because property taxes haven't started to come in, our fund balance is probably way lower because I don't have enough cash flow. Does that make sense?
Right.
So really but if all the revenue comes in, our projected fund balance would be around that 15 to 16 million at the end of the year after this. after we
Okay,
take
for
this.
unassigned?
That's correct.
Okay. That's very different from the number we have heard in the past, which has been averaging between 6 and 6.5, 7 million or so.
Just giving you the number, so.
Okay, I understand. Okay, that's just significantly larger than I think we've ever heard. So, okay, so that definitely still covers your 3%
It does.
minimum that
It
you're
does.
supposed to be at. Okay, thank you.
Okay, Commissioner?
This is, 2 questions. This is the fund balance for this year, the 15 million. Who's that for?
After. Well, approximately, when you do fund balance, a balance sheet is a snapshot of 1 day in time. So when you run a
But
balance
it's-
sheet,
It's what you're guesstimating for FY 2021.
yes, close.
Okay. And the type of roof again?
Be a flat roof. We're still
Is it-
debating on whether we do it.
Not that felt and tar stuff, is it? We're away from that, are we?
That would be more a maintenance question.
I think
Of course,
so.
he's got a tar, he's gonna have.
We have
that's
2
what you have to do
options.
on a flat roof, you're either gonna put
Yeah.
some type of underlayment, whether it's rubber or all kind of boards you're using, but on a flat roof, you're gonna have a tar, rubber, or
We have two.
gravel mixture.
We have 2 options. We're going to talk with them after we secure funding about whether to do a cold applied roof or whether we wait till the summer and do a hot applied. And so we're going to see what we can do over spring break. Well, we're trying to get materials ordered before the end of the year to try to lock in a price. But there are a couple options we're looking at on roofs, and
Do
those
we-
depend on whether we apply in the winter, in the winter or when it's warm.
That's what I was gonna ask, do we need to wait till after the rainy seasons or go ahead and do it now? Cause if we wait while it's raining, it's gonna be even worse.
We're working with them on options. I can come back to you next month. We have a meeting scheduled with them next week to talk about like what the pros and cons with the roofing company with that.
The last roof they put on was Mount Jude Junior High, well, Mount Jude Middle School, and it was tar.
Yeah.
'Cause I was there, and I could smell it every day.
And if we do something like that, that'll almost 90% be done during the summer. Like we're pretty sure we'll do that during the summer.
My question, Madam Chairman,
Yes.
asking, because a lot of the stuff now is TPO
Mhm.
vinyl over the top of it.
Right.
I don't know if that's what they're doing now.
And we're gonna talk, that's one of the questions on our list to ask
The
them
vinyl
next
and
week.
gravel.
We have that company coming in to look at the one that's under warranty, and that they're gonna donate about $500,000 in materials to this,
Keep up the good work.
so.
Sounds good, to donate, we take that every day, I'm sure.
All right.
Are any further questions from anyone from the committee?
Are we gonna wait till after, next week to bring this back? Are we gonna do this now, or wait till after they get through speaking and find
Well,
out what's
it-
really going on after they have their conversation?
No, I mean, we're gonna talk about the options, the time frame with the weather. I mean, we're for sure gonna do a roof.
Right.
It's just whether we do it on spring break or summer, but we're gonna go
Okay,
ahead and
that's what I'm
purchase
talking
those
about.
within the next 2 weeks if y'all approve
So
this.
if they can go ahead and they need to get the materials now,
Yeah.
pretty much.
And then we'll still have to bid the labor for this.
If they
So,
can get them now.
yeah, that's our other issue
If
is,
they can get 'em.
even on, Stoner Creek, we had to change installation options because it was
It's hard
6
to
months
get
out.
materials now, especially
So-
construction. Okay, there any further questions from anyone else?
Make a motion we approve.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And it's, okay, one more thing, can
Go
I?
ahead.
So one other thing is, we came to y'all about a month ago and told you we were gonna put on an RFP for land. We did that, we received 2 responses. However, after receiving those 2 responses, we've had several people reach out who said, oh, I didn't know about it, or, oh, my neighbor saw this and now wants to add to mine. So our board voted last night to reject that RFP and put it back out for 30 more days. So we have done that. That RFP will now be opened on November 30th, which is a Tuesday. I don't know the exact time right now. We'll put it in the paper hopefully this Saturday. They'll be posted on our website Friday night is the plan, to be posted on the website, our website. So just want to keep y'all in the loop there.
Anything you can keep us in the loop, and we certainly
Yeah.
appreciate it, because you only knew. Okay, great. Is there anything? All righty. Is there anything else?
That's it.
All righty.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed?